In this practical, we are going to configure a site-to-site VPN between the router 1 and router 3. So there's three routers, router 1, router 2, and router 3, and they have got a LAN network as well. So router 1 has got a LAN 192.168.1.0, then router 2 has LAN 192.168.2.0, and router 3 has 192.168.3.0. The existing routing is being configured here. So that's been like from PC A, you can reach PC B and PC C. All the configuration for this routing is already configured in this network. So it could be a standard configuration, or it could be a static, or I'm not too sure whether it's a static or dynamic, but the configuration is done. So the task is to configure router 1 and router 2 to support a site-to-site IP VPN when traffic flows between the respective LANs. So that means if you wanted to send a traffic from PC A to PC C, that should go through the VPN tunnel here. You can see there is no communication directly from router 2 to router 3. There is no link. What happens when you send the traffic to PC 3 from PC A, that will hit the router 1. Router 1 will forward it to router 2. Router 2 will forward it to router 3. Router 3 will deliver it to the destination PCC with the standard routing. So if you do a show IP route, or even if you do a trace route, you can see the packet hits the gateway IP here on the router 1, and then it hits the gateway IP on router 2, or serial interface IP on router 2. Then it hits the serial interface of router 3 and the destination. So we will see 3 intermediate IP addresses before it hits the PCC. So that's when it's just going through the standard routing. Once you configure the VPN tunnel here between router 1 and router 3, though there is no direct communication, it's going through the routers. We don't care about it. VPN, it doesn't matter how many intermediate devices are in between, it's just going to create a tunnel, right, between those two end devices. So in my case, I'm going to create the VPN between router 1 and router 3. So it's going to create a tunnel between router 1 and 3. And then what happened? Every time when you send the traffic, technically the traffic will go through the VPN tunnel. That's mean it's not going directly. It won't create a communication between router 1 and router 3 directly. Though it's going through router 2 and then router 3, but we can't see router 2 because it's a tunnel now. So I can only see router 1 and I can only see router 3. It uses the path. It goes to internet. Remember the standard VPN, even if you send a traffic through the VPN tunnel, it still uses the standard internet. That means the traffic will still go to internet and then reach the destination, but we can't see the next hop routers of every next hop routers. So we will only see the entrance and the exit of the VPN tunnel. That is what we are going to do here. So to do that, we have got the IP addresses already there. It's already assigned and our configuration is done. We can ping and see in the packet tracer that all will work. So if you ping to this packet tracer file, that will work. So let me take the packet tracer file and I'll show you the ping between PC A and PC C is working. Let's go and ping from PC A to PC C. So command prompt, ping 192.168.3.3. I'm pretty sure it should work. Yeah, there you go. It's working. Right, let's do a trace route. As you can see, first it hits the gateway 1.1. That's mean here router 1.1, your gateway in this router's gateway. And then it goes to 10.1.1.1. I'm pretty sure 10.1.1.1 is here. See here, we can see on serial 10.1.1.1, serial 000 has got 10.1.1. Here we have 10.1.1.2 serial 0. So it hits here. And then it goes to 2.2.2. I'm pretty sure here we have 2.2.2. There you go. Serial 001 has 2.2.2. then finally it hits the end device. That means that is going through this path. Now I'm going to configure the VPN here on router 1 and on router 2. Once we configure the VPN between router 1 and router 2, then if I do a trace route, we should see 10.1.1.1, then the VPN gateway here 10.2.2.2, and then the destination. You will not see the router 2's IP address. So that's how the VPN configuration is going to work. So existing routing is there. This is my IPSec phase 1 configurations. It's given here. So I'm using AES, SHA algorithm, pre-shared key, Diffie alarm 5, and lifetime I'm using 86,400 seconds. And then this is my pre-shared key. Then for my phase 2, I'm going to pick the transform set name. It's just the name, you can find it. I'm using ESP algorithm, not AH algorithm. I'm using ESP algorithm. And I'm using ESP with AES for confidentiality, ESP with SHA for the integrity, and that is my peer IP address of the next router. So router 1, the peer is 2.2.2 here. This is the peer for router 1. So router 3 serial interface is what we need as a peer IP address. So that's my peer IP address. And this is my interesting traffic, or this is my traffic that's going to flow through my VPN tunnel. So I'm creating an access list called 110 with the source IP 1.0 and destination IP 3.0. That's mean on router 1, my source 1.0, this network, destination 3.0 should go through my VPN tunnel. Same thing, I'll have to do it on router 3. In that case, my source will be 3.0, my destination will be 1.0. You go back and see here, the source IP address has been swept. Here I have 1, here I have 3. Then I'm doing a crypto map, so I'm going to just gel my transformation set, ISAC-KMP and IPSec policy both into one configuration. With that, my VPN should be working. So routers has got a pre-configuration here, and it is running an OSPF routing protocol. That's why I was able to ping and connect it. And now I'm just going to configure the IPSec protocol on the router. So for me to start the IPSec configuration protocol, I'm just going to go to router 1, click on CLI, hit enter. The passwords I have given for CLI is Cisco conpa55. So all simple, conpa55. Right, there you go. I'll hit enter, and then I have an enable password, Cisco PA55. There you go. Now I'm in the router. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start my configuration. As I said, the first thing I need to make sure to configure the VPN, I need to make sure the security package is configured, or security license is configured on this router. So I'm going to run a command to enable the security license. So configure terminal, hold on, Control Shift 6, right. So config T, license, boot, module. The router I'm using is C1900 here. Technology package is security K9, and hit enter and say yes. So that's been, I am now accepting the end user license, and it's now enabling my security package. So once the security package is enabled, right, I'm going to do the running configuration, save the running configuration. So copy, run, start, right? Then I'm going to reload the router. Yes, so my package is updated. I'll do the same thing on router 3. I'll go here, Cisco conpa55, enable Cisco ENPA55, right? let's see show version to confirm what's in here, right? This has got just the standard package, right now here. This has got all these packages, right? They are permanent, and this security package is in evaluation mode. So I'm going to update again the same thing, configure T license boot module C190 technology package security 9. Yes. A right command to make license boot configuration take effect. Use the right command. So exit right. So it's building. Copy, run, start, and then reload. Right. So let's go back here. It's now ready. Cisco conpa 55 enable Cisco enpa 55 show version. Now we can see, right, the security package as technology package module C29 data security. Anyway, it's already there, but it's in evaluation, so you don't have the license to use it, right? It is just a matter of like double confirming that we have got the package, right? That's all we have done, right? We'll do the same thing here. Cisco on PA 55 enable 55 show version. We can see the security package. If it's not there, we have to make sure that we need to enable it. Once it's enabled, we can use it. So we have got our Cisco, and even if you go up, you can see the version here, right? So everything is there. I'm using universal package MZ, right? All these informations are there. That's the standard or basic Cisco stuff. So now my router is ready to start with the configuration. My first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to make sure I will configure the access control list, and I'll leave it there so that I can go back and attach the access control list later on. So access list 101, that's the number they said. For me to permit the traffic from router 3, so permit IP from first 192.168.1.0 network and your wildcard mask 255 to which network you want to permit this access control is to 192.168.3.0 and your wildcard mask 30255. Enter. Access list is configured on router 1. Let's do the same thing on router 2. Oh, sorry, router 3. Configure terminal. Access list 101. Permit IP. Here your source IP is 192.168.3.0. Wildcard mask is 255. To the destination is 192.168.1.0 and your wildcard mask 00255. Right. So if you want, you can go back and do show IP access list 101. You can see access list is configured. It's to permit the traffic here. So my access list is configured to permit the traffic from here to there and here to there. So access, I haven't applied this access control list anywhere in the interface. So it is just only configured and sitting in my global configuration mode. I need to go and apply to a specific interface to take effective. So until I apply to any interface, it's not going to be an effective access control list. So my first pre-configuration is done. Now I'm moving to configure my VPN. To do the VPN configuration, I'm in router. I'm going to create my first one, my phase 1 configuration, crypto IPSec-isakmp, right? I'm going to create the policy. I'm not going to use the standard policy 65,507 508. I'm using my own policy with policy number 10, and I'm using an encryption AES 256, and I'm using authentication. Which authentication mechanism I'm going to use it? Pre-shared key. I'm going to use it here. To pre-shared key, to use the pre-shared key, I'm using Diffie-Hellman algorithm group 5, and I will exit. So I can see I have gone back from IPSec to global configuration mode. So what I have done is I've created a policy. I've attached my encryption standard. I have attached my authentication mode or protocol, and then I've added my group of Diffie-Hellman. I'm going to do the same thing in my router too. Configure terminal, crypto, IPSec-KMP, policy, right? We are going to do policy 10, right? And then what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll do encryption. We use AES encryption 256, and then I use authentication, pre-shared key, and I use group 5, exit. Right. So I've done this configuration on router 1 and router 2. Then, so that's phase 1, first step. Phase 1, second step is to configure the pre-shared key. So this is defined, and I'm going to now configure my pre-shared key, and then I'm going to tell who is the other peer. So to do that, I'm going to use crypto, right? Same thing, IPSec-KMP. This time I'm going to use a key to share key. The key should be the same key between both routers. So the key that I'm using, VPN PA55, password 55, and the address who you are going to share with this. For my router, my peer is this one, and the peer's IP address we checked is 10.2.2.2. Hit enter. So my pre-shared key is configured. So my phase 1 configuration is done. Now I am going to move to phase 2. But before I move to phase 2, I'll do the same thing on my router too. So I'll go here, crypto, IPSec key, and the key VPN PA55, and address for me, this one is 192.168. Sorry, it was 10.10.1.1, I think. 10.1.1.2, I think that's the IP address of this site. So I'll use that IP address and hit enter. So that's mean my phase 1 configuration is done. We finished the part 1 configuration, or phase 1 IPSec configuration is being done. I'm going to move to phase 2 configuration now. Remember, phase 2 is where you will do the transform set. So crypto, this time it's not IPSec-KMP, this is IPSec. Transform set, you can give any name, or give VPN set, and I'm going to use ESP, AES, and ESP, what the other protocol, SHA, pre-shared key, right? Hit enter. So I have configured my transform set with AES algorithm for confidentiality and SHA algorithm for authentication, SHA, MD5 and SHA for integrity, right? So it's done with ESP. Right, now I'm going to do the mapping. That's the next part, right? That's the last part. Crypto mapping is what? Going to join both of the configuration. To do that, I'm going to use crypto map what you're going to map, you're going to map your VPN, right? It's a map name. You can use any name here for map, VPN map, right? Which one you're going to map? Your policy number 10 with IPSec and ISAC-KMP. So those are two, phase 1 and phase 2, and I'm going to map those phase 1 and phase 2 to crypto mapping. So crypto map, VPN map is your mapping name for your VPN, right? And I'm going to bind all the phase 2 parameters together with my policy number 10, right? So my mapping, what has happened? This is a new crypto map, will remain disabled until the peer and the valid IP accesses have been configured. That's fine. So we will go and configure that one later on in the interface. So that's the next part. That's all fine, right? See, as I said, I configured the access control list, but I haven't applied to the interface. So I'll apply that later on. So my mapping is done. What is your next one? You can give, maybe if you want, you can give a description for this mapping. Description, VPN connection to router 3. So I will say, I'm saying VPN map is what the mapping name VPN map is what says VPN connection to router 3. I'll do the same thing on router 3. In that time, I'll say VPN map, and then I'll put the description VPN connection to router 1. So I have done the pre-shared key with the peer, but I haven't set the VPN with what is my destination and what is my peer. So I'm going to say, now for mapping, set my peer is for my router 1, my peer is 2.2.2, and which transform set I'm going to use? Transform set, the one that I've created here, VPN set. So I'm going to use VPN set and make sure this VPN set should match which access control is the one that we use 101, sorry, 101. So now what I have done, if I go back to the whole configuration, let's go from the beginning. Configure an access control list to specify which traffic should pass through. Then I configured my ISAC-KMP first phase configuration to share the common information for my channel creation, VPN channel creation. So I have used encryption, authentication, and Defi alarm group. Then I've gone and created a pre-shared key, right? Then I have created a transform set to say I'm going to map the VPN services with IPsec, right? So my IPsec transform set is created, and then I'm going to map the created transform set and my ISAC-KMP together to establish the VPN services. To do that, I first create the VPN map, and I'll say what is my peer, and I'll say which transform set I'm going to use. So that transform set tells the VPN you are going to use AES and SHA algorithm, right? And you are going to use access control list 101, right? And your destination is 2.2, right? So it's all configured. My VPN is ready, but one thing is missing. I didn't still tell the router which interface we have to establish the VPN. That's where the error message, even we had it here. So to fix that, I'm going to go to interface, exit, and I'm going to type interface. I'm going to use this interface. What is this interface? This is serial 000. So serial 000, and I'm going to say you use the crypto map, the one that I created, this one. and hit enter. So now what happens? My router 1 VPN connection is configured in this router. We haven't done the part in router 2. So now I'm moving to router 2. If you want, I can have both the router configuration side by side to just see the configurations. So let's keep this one on this side and let's go back here. So now if you look at it here, what we have done up to the pre-shared key configuration, which is up to here. I have to create the transform set. I have to do the mapping. That's the two thing is missing on this router. Access control is already configured. So stage 1 or IPSec part 1 is configured. We call it as IKE phase 1 configured. IKE phase 2 is what the transform set I'm going to configure. So I'm going to say now crypto IPSec transform set, right? VPN, let me see, VPN hyphen set, right? ESP AES algorithm, ESP SHA algorithm, right? And hit enter. So my transform set is configured. Now what? I'm going to create the crypto map. So the crypto map VPN map is what we are using here. So I'm going to create the crypto map and binds all the phase 2 parameters together, right? So the command, again, I'm going to use crypto map, right? I'm going to just use the same thing here, crypto map, that exact same thing, right? Crypto map, you can even copy this one. If you want, you can copy this, right? Same thing, haven't applied to an interface, but we will apply once it's done. And then I'm going to put the same description. So maybe I'll copy the description rather than just typing. I'm going to copy the description, paste. This time I'm going to say router 1. And then what? I'm going to set the peer. I need to make sure I should change the IP address here. So the IP should be 10.1.1.2, 10.1.1.2. And then I'm going to use the transform set that I just created. I've created the same name of transform set. So I'm going to use the same transform set, right? And then I'm going to match the address, same access control list. I'm using the same access control list. Done, exit. Finally, I'm going to apply to the interface. Interface here, it's serial 0 dash 0 dash 1, and then crypto map and your map set. VPN map, enter. Right, so now VPNs in both sides is configured. What's the next thing? We need to double confirm whether it's all working. So the easiest is go back to the route computer, command prompt, and I'm going to run the trace route. Let's see what happens if I run the trace route now. It goes to gateway. You can see 10.1.1 is now skipped. And now it's going directly to 10.2.2 and it reached the destination. That's mean if you put this in a diagram, right, if you draw this one and if you look at it here, what happens is based on this part, so the traffic from here, it goes to the gateway and then from there it reaches here, this interface, and then from there it reaches here. That means I'm using this tunnel to send the VPN traffic. All my traffic is now going through the tunnel. Technically, even though it's going through the tunnel, the real way or the real path is this. But you are not going to see this path. The reason, it's a tunnel. Nobody can see anything else. We can only see the entrance and the exit of the traffic. So my VPN is ready, right? It's running. what we can do is we can go back and do some show commands to check the VPN statuses, right? So let's do that. Well, let's check some VPN status. So I'm going to use show commands exit to see what's in this. Let's type show crypto map. We can see here I'm using a crypto map with the peer IP address this, and it's transferring traffic using this extended access control list, and it's active current peer security association lifetime, right? Transformation set, and using this interface, right? So we can see what's in my crypto mapping, right? Same way I can go and see my entire other crypto configuration. That's when I can go and do show crypto commands, show crypto IPSec-KMP, right? Security association. And I can see my status is active. My VPN channel is active. I can see from destination, source, I'm in my router, my router IP address is that, so that's my source, destination, and the status is active. My VPN is currently actively running on my network. So here it's a IPSec-KMP, which is phase 1. Same way I can do phase 2, crypto IPSec security association, and that tells you what's happening in this network. You can see crypto map, interface, how many packets been traveled, local endpoint and remote endpoint, inbound traffic, right? Everything we can see here, right? So that's a simple show command to show you your VPN is active and your traffic is going through the network. So this is how we configure IPSec VPN on a Cisco router. And you need to have a pre-configured routing, and your routing devices and your end devices should be able to reach each end so that they have an existing routing. That means there is an internet connection. If you put it in the real world, there's an internet connection. Now, using the existing internet connection, I'm creating a VPN tunnel so that my traffic just go through this path. That's it, a VPN configuration.